President Obama begging for money in China. Our military wasting more money. The Redskins make real Redskins cry. And our pick for the Academy Award. Now the news. Or bust style.
In the red, President Obama is in China for a critical love fest with President+Hu, hoping our allowance doesn't get cut off, touring the Forbidden City. Awesome. We're reporting from the somewhat deep south here. Touring the Forbidden City, where all of our debt is hidden from the eyes of 1.35 billion Chinese who aren't eating all that well, or really that interested in hunting ghosts and other inane, lazy bullshit that round eyes are interested in. In the Hall of Supreme Harmony, Obama then begged for more money, harmony, to underwrite our healthcare, multiple wars, bailouts, unemployment extensions, and a new initiative codenamed Year of the Rat. Another sign of how out of touch Americans are, hey, it's football season and Law and Order is on next. A recent CNN poll showed 71% view China as an economic threat, with 51% viewing it as a military threat. Ain't that sweet? It's kind of like that roommate, you know, the one who's 2 months behind on rent, hasn't paid a utility since he moved in, but lays there all day with his bong watching the cable TV that you pay for. You know? Good stuff. And he views you as an economic threat because, you know, really, if you ask him to finally pay up, his next bag and cable TV show won't magically appear. FYI, China owns $763 billion of our $1.886 trillion debt, which is about what we'll spend on our awesome military this year. Should China say, hey man, about that rent? About our military. 3 sergeants convicted of premeditated murder and conspiracy for killing 4 Iraqi detainees in 2007 defended their actions by blaming military policy that made it, quote, too hard to detain suspected insurgents, end quote, then added, quote, they're gonna be right back on the streets, end quote. That might make sense for some, you know? But instead of transporting these guys to a detainee holding area, these sergeants and a couple soldiers threw them in a truck, took them to a canal, and shot them in the back of the head. Good stuff. Add Blackwater to that and then bribing $1 million, you know, giving that to Iraqis. Awesome, awesome leadership. Right up there with Afghanistan's. And you got a military out of control. Overstretched, strained. We've been at war way too long, folks. This stuff's got to end. In other related malfeasance news, a Kuwaiti company with the very American name Agility is being investigated for billing fraud. Paid $8.5 billion to feed our troops in 2003 and 2005, they falsely billed for fresh fruits and vegetables. From Kuwait, no less. Who would have thunk it? That's what the charges state. Just keep taking our money. It's all good. We need more guns. If traffic court is good enough for me, quote, we have a judicial system that's the envy of the world, said Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Pat+Leahy, Democrat, Vermont, in defending Attorney General Eric Holder's decision to put Satan and his henchmen on trial in New York City. That's right, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and other 9/11 perpetrators will be tried like any other scum in an American court and not a military tribunal where we'll never know the facts. But will we ever know what really happened on 9/11? Why isn't Cheney on trial? Think about it. For some reason, though, Republicans are fighting Holder's decision like they are accomplices, with has-been Mayor Rudy Giuliani rolled out to scare the shit out of people. Real cool, Rudy. Get a job. Oh, that's right. You started a security company that made millions in Mexico and elsewhere because of your awesome leadership on 9/11. Senator Judd+Gregg, Republican of New Hampshire, babbled, quote, they represent a cause which wants to destroy this nation. If they have the opportunity were to get free, they would try to destroy this country. There's no reason we should have them in the criminal justice system, end quote. Okay. Sort of like Timothy McVeigh and the Nazis at Nuremberg. What are you fighting here, people? More, what are you afraid of? Fear not, Honorable Senator Gregg and other fearmongers. If I know my New Yorkers at all, if there is a hung jury or any issues during that trial, it'll be settled with a lynch mob of firemen, cops, and Italians wearing wife beaters. If you haven't noticed, we're reporting from the somewhat deep south here, and Hurricane Ida did hit, you know. You see it on the news when you're not here, and you're like, whoa, hurricanes, I'm glad I don't live in a trailer park there. But really, when the hurricane hits, it leaves a mess. Here's some pictures of the progress from last week's episode when we were reporting in the storm. And here's some after photos. Floodwaters getting about 20 feet from the house where we're staying. Harrietta was threatened. Poor Harrietta. She's feeling much better now. And here's an interview with a survivor. So, Mr. Crab, how was it? You look a tad neurotic. Are you okay? How's the family? No comment? Thank you. Why communism failed. With Obama in China and Republicans afraid of our own criminal justice system, here's more proof of why communism failed. The U.S. Postal Service lost $3.8 billion in 2009, despite $10 billion in cost-cutting measures. Of course, this means more threats, that you won't get your Victoria's Secret catalog, and less important mail and bills delivered on Saturday, as well as 40,000 job cuts. That's what they're going to propose for next year's budget to try to get more money to support an antiquated system that went the way of blacksmiths and milliners. Seriously, email, you know? Mail traffic total carried by the U.S. Postal Service dropped 13% last year. Let's think about it. You want to save the world? Cut down fewer trees. Somewhere, a Native American is crying. The U.S. Supreme Court rejected an appeal to force the Washington Redskins to drop its name and logo. The lawsuit was filed in 1992 by Suzanne Schoen Harhole of Washington, a Cheyenne, Hodogee, Muskogee Indian, I guess that is, and longtime advocate for Native American rights, saying the NFL team's trademark is, quote, disparaging, end quote. To correct the ongoing indignity suffered by Native Americans, the government is allowing another Native American casino to be opened beside the church and liquor store on the reservation. That'll fix everything. Other stuff to make you smirk. An auction for convicted Ponzi scum Bernard Madoff saw unexpected interest, with watches, bags, and used hankies being bid for 20 times the estimated value. It raised $1 million, which is 0.00002% of the total $49 billion that Madoff bilked from investors. That'll make him happy. Swinehart. This column, however irrational and written under a cloud of Dickel sour mash, is dedicated to a groovy fella going through a delightful procedure he's been putting off since birth. Heal up, Raoul, and be healthy for a West Side crawl by spring. That's the news, folks. We'll see you next week. Our early pick for the Oscar, best movie, Star Trek. Available now. Good stuff.